Good afternoon, guys. It is January 1st, 2020. I wanted to do this video and kind of discuss something that really is on my mind. And just as a quick disclaimer, this is not meant to be judgmental or hateful or stereotyping anyone. This is just talking in general. So just please know that. But I'm going to be talking about living within your means. And this is something that unfortunately a lot of Americans do not do. And living within your means is not spending more than you have, money-wise. So, we're going to talk about this. And as it's New Year's Day, maybe people are wanting to get better at, living within their means or whatever. So I figured that this would be a good video for today. I'm going out of town anyway, and so I'm just trying to make a couple videos for some people to enjoy. So that way I don't have to worry about it. So anyway, living within your means. It should be very simple. I understand that there are certain things that, just come up. But live within your means. And what that means is buy what you can afford or less than what you can afford. And a lot of people live way beyond their means. Like, they have a car payment constantly instead of just driving a car that they pay cash for and just driving it for as long as they can. Which I understand if you have a car that's just a piece of junk. We've had cars that literally overheat all the time, don't have air conditioning, and smell like they're burning. So, believe me, I understand how that goes. And it's not fun, but, sometimes if you have to live with that, you just have to live with that. And we did for 3 or 4 years. Thankfully, we're kind of in a better situation now. But, yeah, just living within your means is really important to being successful later. And not everything's going to be pretty, It's, you gotta not worry about what other people think. And I know we all kind of struggle with that, myself included. Sometimes I think, well, so-and-so has that, it'd be kind of nice to have that too. And it's not wrong to have those things or those feelings, but if you can't afford it, that's where it kind of gets to be wrong. Excuse me. having allergy issues right now. I apologize. So, but, yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't have, like, a collection of something or something like that. I have a collection of vacuum cleaners, okay? I have a total of, like, 5 or 6. Do I need 5 or 6 vacuum cleaners? No, absolutely not. But is it wrong to have that? No, absolutely not. But can I afford it? Yes, I can afford it right now. But if circumstances changed to where I couldn't afford to have a collection or add more to my collection, I would compromise, and that's kind of the thing that a lot of people don't really want to hear, but it's the truth. You gotta make sacrifices now so that way you can be successful later. And it's just a temporary thing. But, I get all these stereotypes. Like, I'm trying to um, get ready to invest in a house someday. Probably like 10 years down the road, or longer. But I'm trying to think of it now so that way I can prepare um, for the future. And really living within my means. And if it comes down to the point where I can only afford a mobile home, for the time being, I'll live in a mobile home. You really gotta kind of get out of your head, like, what people are gonna think. And I'll be honest, I struggle with certain things that I think, well, I can't do that, or I can't do this. Not necessarily with financial stuff, but just with certain living situations. Not very comfortable in apartments, not very comfortable in attached dwellings. Um, for whatever reason, I just don't like it. Um, so that's something that I kind of need to work on getting over. But, you know, just living within your means, you know, for me personally, there are people that want nice cars, but they don't care about their houses. There are people that want nice houses and don't care about their cars. And if I had to choose a direction to go in, I would honestly prefer to have a nicer car, or not car, a nicer house than I would a nicer car. And the reason for that is housing you're in all the time, and really, for me, I need to feel comfortable and somewhat safe. So, and it doesn't have to be fancy or high end or luxury or anything like that. It just has to be reasonable and clean and well kept. So, yeah, that's just some things that have been on my mind. It's really not easy to live within your means all the time because there's temptations all the time, everywhere you go. And I will say that, I know some people that live in a house in California who their kids are adults and basically moved out of the house, but they have a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom house. And it's like this fancy kind of high-end house. Um, why they need that, I don't know, but they really don't for that, for what they are living like. But it's just a picture of like all about how it looks. If you're so concerned about um, what what a house looks like or what your car looks like, you know, you're really kind of missing the point. And here's another part of living within your means. Not all cases, but most cases. Okay, I'm a Christian. If you're not a Christian, this may not mean anything to you. I'm just gonna say that flat out. Because I know some of you are Christians and some of you aren't, and I respect both ways. But really, if you're living beyond your means, this is the way I see it. And this may be true or not true. And I'm not trying to hate anybody or be negative, but if you live beyond your means, the way I see it is you're not really trusting God to provide for you. That's just the way I see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but God has given you the income that He has given you. And if He wanted you to have more, He would give you more. But I can't make the decision for you. You have to decide if you're going to live within your means or not. And I will tell you that living within your means is so much more relaxing than living beyond your means. Because you don't have to worry about extra payments, you don't have to worry about credit card payments, you don't have to worry about car payments. You just, in most cases, pay, a mortgage that you can afford or below, what you can afford. And, really living within your means is the lifestyle that is the most relaxing and least stressful. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's no stress involved, but, not worrying about a bunch of different things and what other people think and payments and stuff is so much nicer than being stressed out and trying to keep up with the Joneses and worrying about what other people think of you. Really, if somebody comments on your lifestyle and you choose to live within your means, then that's their problem. That's not your problem at all. You can just say to them, well, so that's what you think, but this is the way I choose to live. And just leave it at that. Because if you're worrying about what other people think all the time, then you're really not going to have a whole lot of joy and gratitude. So, anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on living within your means. Really an important topic that is really not discussed as much as it should be. And again, I'm really not trying to offend people or be against people at all. I'm just trying to explain what's on my mind and kind of give people some ideas. And the choice is ultimately yours. But I will say that living within your means is just a lot better emotionally. Uh, so, anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.